What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing today? It is Friday, which means we're going to have our normal Friday AMA session. So please do not feel shy to ask questions right now. The whole idea of this session is for you guys. Today we have a lot of really interesting things, fundamentally less important and less interesting in terms of technical analysis. I did write that be careful and watch what to look for in terms of the altcoins, because there's nothing really much to really watch for. So unfortunately, we're going to talk about a little bit of other stuff going on in the market, and I'll show you what's actually something to look at, and it's really bleak. To be honest with you. How's it going? All dogs for training. That was Leroy. Stephen, nice to see you over here. Who else we got here? I'll check on YouTube and Facebook. We got Andre, we have Neil, we have who else we got here? Yeah, I don't see anyone else. If you guys are watching right now or you're watching later, don't forget that you should subscribe, like, and share, as well as comment on the video so that we can win prizes. I will start giving away some BNB, UND, and some VRA, Veracity. All those are on the Binance DEX. So keep your eyes out for those, and we will get you guys some as rewards for commenting, sharing, etc. this video. So start doing that. I'll be watching. Okay, so let's jump right into what's going on. We first see that, yes, we have actually got to the point where we have mined a heck of a lot of the cryptocurrency in terms of our Bitcoin. How's it going, Neil Kazar? I see you there. And David, very good to see you as well. So 85% of all the Bitcoin has been mined. I'm going to go over these really quickly so I don't bore you. I'm just going to give you the gist of what's going on. 85% of the Bitcoin has been mined, but that still means there's a ton left over, and that's a good thing. Rolf, nice to see you as well. Okay, if you guys are watching on YouTube, that's great. Keep commenting. If you're watching on Facebook, just join us through the link in the description, and you can come on and we'll talk over there. Let's get into a little bit more of the details of this article. So what happens with this, what's going on with Bitcoin, and why does this mining thing matter? Well, 17,850 have been mined, meaning we've about 3 million and change left to mine. So it's still a ton of Bitcoin. I mean, imagine having 100,000 Bitcoin. It'd be insane. But that would take years and years and years. We also are going to be soon at 6.25 BTC per block every 10 minutes, which means we're going to have less supply. And if demand is growing, as we all see it is through all the institutionals, that is going to increase the price. And there's also a couple things that we know are coming up, like the Fed. So people know that, I think Tom Lee from Fundstrat, he said it himself. He said, the US Fed rates are going to help Bitcoin. I agree with him, and here's the reason why. The last 2 times the federal government have cut rates, okay? This is not to scare you, but we had stock market crashes. Right before the 2008 stock market crash, there was a cut on interest rates from the Fed, and what happened a few months later? The big hit, the big short, the really, like, almost completely shattered the whole entire financial system. Does that mean it's going to happen this time? Am I trying to create FUD? Absolutely not. But this will be something that people will use as a hedge, and this is very likely why we're seeing many people go into gold, and metals are starting to get really big again, as well as Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies that are prevalent. Now, another really important thing that we saw this week was the SEC just said that they are going to run XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum nodes. That gives another vote of confidence of where we're going, and that's something that you should keep note of because it's something very important for where we're going in the future. Lily, nice to see you. What do you guys think about that? I'd love for you to comment right in the video and say, what do you think about the Fed, cutting interest rates? Do you think it's going to have a negative effect on markets or not? What do you really think can happen here? And is it important to you to know where we might go with that whole situation? I think personally, it's something very important to take note of, and you should always be watching and looking for this stuff because it could negatively affect a lot of people's lives. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, let's keep moving on and look for some more. Now, I see no one's really commenting that much. Please do. If you're watching later, it's good as well. Okay. The FCA in the UK have just come out and said basically that they are going to regulate cryptocurrencies. They've published the final guidance. What they're saying here is that we're going to regulate cryptocurrency. We're going to moderate and find the bad actors here. We're going to have rules. We're going to have things that are deemed security tokens. We're going to try and separate the security tokens from the utility tokens and so on and so forth. So they're really making big steps at trying to help. Here's one of them: exchange tokens not issued by a central authority, but meant to be used as a means of exchange for buying or selling goods, without the need of traditional, intermediaries. So there's that one. There's utility tokens, grant holders to a current or prospective product or service. They are not specified investments, but they seek the idea of e-money. And then we have obviously security tokens, which are, I'm buying it so that it goes up in value. I mean, most people are there, but you know what it is. Steven, never say sorry for coming and being here. It's always welcome, and you don't matter what. Jordan, great to see you, brother. Hope you're doing really well. Now, let's move on and talk about blockchain.com. Now, this is getting annoying for me because everyone and their mom is making a freaking exchange. Blockchain makes sense. They have 40 million addresses that are used through them. But why are they coming out now? Kind of an interesting time to do it. But they came out today and said they're going to be launching their own exchange. And basically, that's something that's quite interesting. Keep your eyes on that. If you want to read this article, do so. I'm not going to go over too much detail. Now, this one was really, really interesting. Here we see that this whole Ledger X announcement was not actually true, and it was not approved yet. And actually, Ledger X press president Ryan Gorman told CoinDesk he will no longer be representing the company as of today over the concerns about the events of the last 24 hours. In a series of tweets Thursday afternoon, Ledger X CEO Paul Chow said the CTFC asked the company to censor its tweets. He threatened to sue the regulatory agency for anti-competitive behavior, breach of duty, and so on. So there's a lot of drama around Ledger X, but the whole gist of this whole entire article is that they have not yet gone through approval and they are at the later stages. This is quite interesting to keep your eye on and follow along. Jordan says, you're still looking for mass market understanding of what blockchain is and why it's important and what it means in the future on a broad and specific level. Yes. And you know what? If you're looking for that, I can give you all of that. Actually, what's really interesting is, one thing that I've done is I've created a full-on crypto course. So 30 videos that will be coming out probably in the next week or two. And it's going to lead, like, anyone who doesn't know anything about cryptocurrency or what Bitcoin is or why it was created, this will give you all that you need so that you can start off and get started in the crypto journey if you're new or you want your parents to know. And the whole idea of that course was really to educate people and get them understanding of what's this whole thing, what is crypto about, and why is it potentially the future of money, and why is it potentially the future of a lot of different other systems when it links into what blockchain also does. And so when you're looking for mass market understanding, it starts with education, and that's why I made a course. And that's why it's really important to get your kids involved too. Like, I give my kids Bitcoin on their birthday. Like, you gotta get kids involved. You gotta make them think it's great. And that will help. Now, questions are, there are such great projects that connect various blockchains, solutions such as supply chain verification. Real world example, Starbucks supply chain, for example, is not employing underage farms. Yeah, absolutely. And there are several other things, Jordan, like, Let's look at it this way. You can take your documents. So you know how everyone has, like, people, copy your ID cards or your passport and stuff. They can pretend to be you and all that stuff. Imagine you had a private key to your actual identity that no one could actually find out. That could be basically through your fingerprint, could be through facial recognition software. There's a ton of really amazing things that blockchain can actually do. And that's the really beautiful part of it, is it's not just like, okay, for money. Yes, that's a huge part and a great first use case, but the use cases of, like what you mentioned when we're talking about supply chain, that's amazing because you can do that not just for Starbucks, you can be doing that for all food. You have E. coli problems, no problem anymore. We take those food off the shelf and we know exactly which ones have been affected based off barcodes that have been hashed into a blockchain. So that sounds really confusing, but basically it's a tracking system that can't be changed. So we know where things come from, how they work, etc. And there's so much more. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but you're definitely right, Jordan. We need a lot of awareness and spreading out what is crypto and what is blockchain, how they're different, how they're similar, and why they're great for the world and what we should use them for. Okay, going on. Stock market is doing good for the moment, while analysts expected a recession, so expect that the stock market will go for a while and then crash hard. Chris, I don't think the stock market has been doing so healthily for the last week. It did drop pretty hastily, and I'm going to show you something really interesting on a graph that I posted in our group in Athena Education, guys. So go to t.me, Athena Education, in the video on YouTube. Click on that. Join our group and channel. It's free. We made it so you can chat again, so everyone can chat and talk and ask questions all in there, and I'll answer as I have time to get in there and answer your questions. So Envious, am I still bullish on XRP? Like I said several times, guys, XRP will not do well until the end of October, early November. I said first, it will probably hit 50 cents. Hit 51 cents. I said after that we will see not just XRP but most cryptocurrencies go slumping into the rest of the summer and into the fall, and then we'll start to see things start to ramp up in October, November. I still very much believe that, and I guarantee that it's almost perfect timing that they're going to start that around the exact same time as the 2017 bull run. We're going to see around Thanksgiving things start to ramp up a little bit more, and then we're going to see things ramp up into Christmas, and we'll see everything start to move in the right direction by then. And that will be the end of capitulation, in my opinion, of altcoins. And we're still in that altcoins are dead phase. People haven't got over that yet. We need to get over this, like, altcoins are completely dead. And then we get to that point where we're like, okay. So XRP, in terms of US dollar value, hasn't lost that much. It's still around 30 cents where it was at the start of the year. So it's pretty much been a stable coin. And the thing about XRP is, like, when they get the marketing going, they're selling all this XRP. They have all this money. You think they're not going to, pump into marketing when everything starts to go bullish and everyone sees Bitcoin at like $12,000, $15,000, $18,000, $20,000 and XRP's 30 cents. People are going to pick XRP because it works and it's got use cases. These are really good ideas that you should be thinking of. RFID chips does some of that tracking. Yes, it does. Absolutely. But it doesn't have the stamp, so you can cheat. You can't cheat a blockchain. You lost me at XRP. All right, Brew, no worries, man. Some people don't like XRP, and I totally agree with, some of the reasons why you wouldn't like it. So don't even worry, man. It's all good. Everyone that is here, you can have your own opinion. I totally want you to have your own opinions, and I want you guys to give, your thoughts on all the things that I say. I can be wrong, and I have been, but generally I do pretty decent research, and I mean, anyone that knows me can speak for me. I don't have to say it myself. Now, let's look at a couple other things. Litecoin. So, Litecoin halving. I had a really interesting thing happen the other day, and I'm going to show you that on a chart really quickly. So, Litecoin, I said, I think it was like May, the start of May. I said, guys, look at Litecoin. And everyone was like, what's going on with Litecoin? Why look at Litecoin? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I have not touched this chart. Nothing. You'll see why, because you'll see that it's literally off. It's pretty much off. It's not even at that point where, like, let me just make it a little bit wider for you guys and show you what I'm talking about. So, I was showing everyone in May, I said, well, this is what I expect to happen for Litecoin. Litecoin's going to go up, it's going to come back down, and to go up. I was a little bit overshot the top of where it would have been because Bitcoin started to run really hard, and then it was going to drop down. And look where it actually came to. Like, this was based off technical analysis. This was my prediction of what would happen. But look at the dates. June 22nd was the thing that I did. And I can prove in pictures that I took when this was way before the top that we were going to have it. You had to watch from the 22nd of June, 45 days before. And God help me, I swear to God, that we hit the top on the exact day that I drew this line. No word of a lie. Anyone that's been around knows this. It's pretty crazy. And the reason why I did that, if we go back a little bit further to the last halving, I'll show you why. The last halving we had, it was a lot cheaper. But, again, I had plotted down on the chart the last time we had a halving and how it ended up playing out. So all I did this time was go, okay, if it did it that last halving, I'm sure it would be priced in, and we'll see that's something very similar. And we did. 45 days before the halving, and we dropped down. And I think we'll kind of sputter around this $100 mark, $199 to $100 mark, and we'll stay around there. I think this is more of a long-term projection to get back to 140. I would actually say that was more likely to happen now. So that's really interesting. keep your eyes on that. Question is, have you seen XRP? It will be used money tap and it's involved in, yeah, you know, Japan has had XRP in their banks and XRP is MoneyGram. There's lots of stuff with it, but it's not going to go in bullish until we have bull season and alt season start again. So just keep that in mind. It's not a big deal. It's just something that's going to happen very likely. Okay. I want to point out this though. This chart, it might be a little bit small for you to see, but the last time they had a cut, look what happened to the stock market. And the time after that, right before 2008, they had a cut. Look what happened to the stock market. And right now, the stock market is at the all-time high. What do you think when things go so high, they usually do? This was an all-time high for the stock market in 2000 and I think it was 2001 when they did the cut. This was a all-time high for the stock market in 2008 when they did the cut. And this is a massive all-time high in 2019 when they're doing the cut. Keep your eyes on that. It's something really important to look at. It's not saying the world's going to come to an end, but this is why people are hedging into Bitcoin right now. This is why I'm saying to guys like Chris, the stock market is not doing so well, and I'll show you why. This one was quite interesting. Walmart is now saying that they're going to make a pegged stablecoin to rival the Libra. Even though this week, Facebook said they may never actually launch this coin because of regulatory scrutiny around the world. Interesting stuff. The US does not like it. And as much as we could say like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. They're in Seychelles or the US have so much power. No one even realizes how much power that is. And it's scary a lot of times because they really control most of this world. And if you don't believe it, hey, trust me, you'll learn that quickly once you start looking a little bit deeper. Last thing before we get into charts. I'm going to mention this again. SnapX is having a $600,000 cash pool prize giveaway for a trading competition. The first one starts on the 9th of August in a week, and it ends on the 22nd of August. That will be for free. All you have to do is sign up with the link below in this video, and you will get on, and you can use it for free and just try to trade. It's $5,000, $3,000, and $2,000 for the top 10 people. So that's pretty decent just to actually use their exchange. Then they have the team and individual competition. So don't miss that one out. I have a team that I have created, and so I would love for you guys to join it. So do sign up to the exchange and you'll be able to join my team. Okay, now let's look at the whole market and see where it's at. If you have questions about the market, please do right now. Ask me whatever you would like for me to do TA on, and I'll tell you if it even has a chance to be looked at this point, because it probably doesn't. Unfortunately, that is very much like the truth, and, you know, that's just the way it goes. So you gotta roll with the punches. Okay, so our total market cap hit the bottom of the cloud. Well, hit the top of the cloud here. It jumped back up, hit the top of the Tenkan, and dropped back down and bottom of the cloud, and now it's starting to rise up. Now, the total market cap is important, but what else is really important is this. BTCD is doing the exact same amount of growth as the others. So that's really interesting. Good question, MBOs. Do I think there's going to be a bull run like 2017 this year? I think that it's going to be different. I think there's a lot of institutional buyers, and I have not yet seen any new real nor anyone that's not in crypto. I haven't seen any new real buyers come into this market other than people who've pretty much been here. Very, very few, if that. Why? I really believe that we need to break the all-time high of $20,000 on Bitcoin for people to think, wow, it wasn't a bubble. When that happens, because of all the attention it has, because of TD Waterhouse, because of TD Ameritrade, because of Bakkt, because of Ledger X, because of Greystone, because of all these massive institutions that have been involved, people will be able to buy Bitcoin. Because they'll be able to buy Bitcoin when they see the all-time high, that's when you'll start to see a run. That could be the end of this year. That could be the start of next year. But coming up to the halving, I believe that we'll definitely get into the $20,000 to $30,000 mark very, very likely by the end of 2020 or by 2019 or the start to mid 2020 before the halving happens. So keep your eyes on that. Okay. Now looking at BTC1, this is Gapicus. Okay. So this is the gap that we thought we would fill. We got really close to it twice, but we actually formed a double bottom. So this is the daily chart. It's pretty close together, but we have this double bottom that formed around 9100 once, twice. Does that mean it's a double bottom and we won't go any lower? No, but we also have some other things to keep your mind on. First things first. This is the CME futures, so they're only open on they're not open every single day of the week, so we do have a gap day every week. And not only that, we also have this. We have the fact that we have 3 white soldiers for the last 3 days, and it's looking like another bullish candlestick on the Friday. So over the weekend, will we see another bull weekend? Let's see. But we still have this Gapicus right here, and that Gapicus wants to be filled. So we have to keep noticing that. I'll talk about alts in a second, Neil. Which alts do you want me to talk about? That's a good one too. Remember now that we have more liquidity than ever. We have more exchanges, which is good and bad. We have a lot more volume, even though it doesn't seem like it. There's a lot more volume in the market. So you have to keep all those things in mind. Bitcoin long and shorts. The shorts are very much down. So people are closing their shorts, going long right now, and I'll show you why. And the longs, really weirdly enough, have not really increased that much. So the market's really sideways. I've been saying this, like it's not real hardcore volume coming in right now. And if I just add volume onto this chart, it should have been there. I don't know why it's not there. Why is it not coming on? That's really interesting. I can't, it's because it's long and short. Sorry. If we have volume on the chart here, we can see that the volume's up, but it's not really. We have this negative volume coming right now. Ever since that top, we've kind of gone down and down and down, and we sort of have a little bit of volume here coming, but not for the amount of movement we've had. So it's kind of an interesting time for Bitcoin. Now on the 4-hour chart, I showed this yesterday to the members around that we had a long signal, and we got in, and we already closed that trade. We made 2R on that trade, so that was a good trade. But here's what's looking with Bitcoin. It's I messaged everyone. I said we have a bullish engulfing into the cloud. We have a Chiku span that's bullish, and we had a TK cross. All of these things labeled to go long, and I actually went long before this closed because there was so much volume coming into that candle after like 2 hours that I opened it right around there and made a nice, I think it was like just under 4% on that trade. So that's what's happening with Bitcoin. Where is it going? It's trying to complete the edge to edge. So we're looking for it to come up to this or that level over the weekend. It may not get there, just keep in mind, but that's where we'd go. And if we get there, we're at $11,130 again. If we get above it, we will probably get above. If we go and bull over the weekend, touch the top of the cloud, and very likely continue on up. But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, it could, but my prognosis, if we get to that top, we're going to come back down. Okay, so that's where I'm thinking we're at. Okay, Cardano, XRP, VET, very good. Let's look at all of those coins. Before we do that, let's look at ETH because it's also got a nice play in it right now that I'm in. So Ethereum, bullish engulfing, bullish TK cross, Chiku span, bullish. It's kind of coming down, so we'll have to keep monitoring that. It may touch the top of the cloud and go further, but this is a really nice trade, guys, if you're looking for something to get into potentially. I would set my stop around Kijinsen at the bottom of the cloud or so like that, and we'd be looking for this to go probably up to this level right there for 1.5R trade. I got in a little bit earlier. Again, I entered a little bit on the earlier side of this one because I was looking at a shorter time frame, so lucky me. But, yeah, a 2R trade is always a good trade. Anything above 1R, 1.5R really. Okay, now let's look at XRP. XRP, or more like XR short. This is a great time, or was a great time to short. The second Bitcoin starts to move, this movement on Bitcoin has been phenomenal. It's gone crushing up, and what it does is it's crushing the alts hard. Tezos is showing signs of coming alive. Tezos has been alive since 38 cents. I was talking about it at 38 to 40 cents. People were like super impatient. We're like, oh, it didn't pump. blah, blah. But it hit 168, I believe, and now it's down, and it's going to come back. We'll look at Tezos quickly as well. But in looking at right now, we got the short signal. We got Chiku Span super bearish. We have what looks to be a bearish TK cross coming up. It doesn't really look good for XRP, but I didn't expect it to, guys. So don't worry about it too much. This is kind of playing into the plan. It had a nice move up. Now it's retracing. But there's nothing really bullish about XRP right now. We could look at it not on BitMEX and just look at USD to give a better outlook on where it might be going. But again, it hit that 50-cent mark and it's been dropping down, and it's got nice support around this area. So we can know that there's tons and tons of support. It's touched several times on the daily. So this is a nice happy spot for XRP, that 31 cents. I wouldn't expect it to move anytime soon, and we have a bearish Kumo twist. So yeah, it's not looking great for that. Let's look at Tezos, and I'm going to look at some others. XTZ, BTC. So Tezos is, I mean, this is Tezos, right? XBT? What is it again? I can't remember. The Tezos is XTZ. Okay, so I did the right one, right? XTZ. Yeah, okay. We're going to Tezos. We look at it. It's been pumping really nicely. They've had baking happening on Coinbase coming up, which means you'll be able to stake it on Coinbase. I was looking at it way back in February when it was like 38 to 40 cents around here, and it was a really good buy. And it's because they have so many partnerships. 400% it's gone up. It dropped down. It's got a double bottom, 1, 2, and now it's gone up another 60-something%. And even though it's showing a bearish Kumo twist, this is super bullish. We have 3 white soldiers. We have it's pushing up. We had a Kumo breakout as well. Lots of really bullish signs for Tezos right now. Would you get in now after it going up 50%? Probably not. What do you think of CZ's tweet that everyone who should slap themselves over? I think that when CZ makes those tweets, he should be making them when Bitcoin's dropped and it's near the bottom, not when it's above 10K and kind of, I love CZ, but sometimes it's like he's mocking people because they're scared with their money. And he forgets that like the average person doesn't have a lot of money, and so it's stressful for them to leave it in Bitcoin. So as much as I love you, CZ, please stop making fun and mocking some people that get scared. I mean, it's not really that nice to do, I guess. Brad from XRP is always in the news showing positivity. Right. And that will eventually lead to a bull run when people come into the market, guys. When we see a couple things. One, when we see Bitcoin get to an all-time high and people start thinking to buy into crypto, they're not going to look at BTC. I mean, sure, there's going to be a lot of people that are, but they'll go, well, BTC to go 5x has to go to $100,000. And for XRP at 30 cents to go 5x has to go to not even all-time high. Actually, it can go like 10 times that and be at an all-time high. And it could break through that and be at least $4 or $5, right? So they're going to look at that as a higher chance of opportunity, even though, as we all see from alts, it's very high risk. Okay, let me look at some different stuff. If Bitcoin in the years to come goes crazy prices and becomes a world currency, do you worry things like the time traveler warned about? I mean, the time traveler is, it's an interesting perspective, Tristan. I do, Leroy, sorry. I do think that, it's not something really to worry about, but, there'll be other cryptocurrencies, and I think that Bitcoin will be one of them, and cash in our lifetime probably won't go away, at least not for 20 years. So we'll still see a little bit of cash and all that stuff. It's going to take time for building infrastructure, educating the masses. All that stuff takes time. We've had Bitcoin for 10 years. It will probably have a 75-year life cycle, and then something else in quantum computing will replace that. So realistically, it's still in infancy, and we shouldn't really worry too much. What will happen in the future will happen in the future. Right now, I'd be more worried about government controls, the fact that some guy from Yahoo tried to go without Yahoo, without Facebook, without Google, without Amazon for a day, and found that extremely difficult, almost impossible. So I'm just keep that in mind. You're afraid that you'll become a target. I'm afraid I'll become a target. You won't be a target. I think that no one will be a target. I think that there'll be enough to go around, and there'll be stable coins and stuff. So that's just kind of if you guys don't know about the the crypto time traveler. Check it out. I'm not going to go into the conspiracy theory of it all. Check link in OX, comments above, and possible noteworthy. Okay. Let's look. OX is the mother company announcing dividends for stockholders. Yep. And yeah, okay, good stuff, Jordan. That's all good points. That Leroy was buying Bitcoin years ago, so he must be loaded. Yeah, but really, like, maybe you spent that Bitcoin. So, I mean, I wouldn't be something that I would stress out about. So, ADA, sorry for keeping you waiting, Neil. Let's get into ADA. It's really, really bleak. Really, really bleak. Like, really, 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 really bleak. So, we have this, like, double, triple bottom, whatever you want to call it. 1. And we have this flat. 2, 3. It doesn't look good, guys. ADA on the short term does not look good. Will it come back and be higher than this? I'm sure of it. But there's been a lot of FUD with like Charles Hoskinson going on these random adventures and like not being on Twitter anymore and people saying it's an exit scam. There's a lot of FUD around it. So that might be a good thing. It might be an opportunity more than anything else. So just keep in mind that those things are happening and it's something that you have to take note of it. It's really important to take note of all these things. Now we're talking about VET. I really love VET. I think that it has one of, it's got a lot of partnerships. It's got a lot of use case. Where it's at right now, you can look at it as like, oh crap, it's at the bottom, it's done. I look at it like, okay, we had a tweezer bottom. It went up, it came back down, and we have 2 weeks between, which usually signifies a double bottom. So we have to just look at that and it might be a really good opportunity. TRX short also yesterday, pretty good. All we need is more jail news. Yeah, of course, Bruin. And, it's really funny about TRX is I have a lot of not very much love for TRX because, Justin showed his true colors recently. What's up, Marcus? Nice to see you, man. Alvaro, great to see you too, brother. Hope you're having a nice family vacation there. So we have TRX, we have Justin's son. I'll tell you guys a really funny story. So I was helping out TRX in a way. I'm not going to get into details what I was helping them with. I was helping out TRX, and Justin offered to pay me for some services if they were completed, and I was like, cool. And I said, okay, you can pay me in TRX. Check what he said. No, I'll pay you in Bitcoin or USDT. Either he doesn't believe in his own cryptocurrency or he hoards so much of it that when he says he's got kidney stones or whatever he says he has, he's full of crap and he actually is shorting it himself. I don't really trust him. I think he's brilliant in terms of marketing, but I would not trust that man with, I wouldn't trust him. Let's just put it that way, okay? So don't trust that man, okay? TRX is something that I haven't liked for a very long time if you follow me, and there's reasons behind it. After trying to help them, I still have a lot of not very good feelings about that cryptocurrency, and so that is all I'm going to say about that because it's not a trashing. I'm not here to trash people. Let's look at Link, though. Chainlink, sorry. Let's look at her. So, she has gone and done an edge-to-edge on the opposite side of things on the daily. It's been very, very bearish after that huge bullish movement. Let me just turn off this here so you guys can see a little bit clearer. So, it's been on this really downward spiral. And what's really interesting about Link is they were said to have been selling off the team, selling off some of their tokens. It's kind of interesting. Guess bullying being full of crap causes kidney stones. I like that. That's a good one. I love VET. Needs more awareness. It does. The thing is, if you're in it for the long haul, guys, you're in VET or something like good projects. It doesn't matter what the price is right now if you really are a true investor and really truly believe in what you're getting. But you have to be very careful when you invest. And I am more in Bitcoin than I am in anything else for that reason, because Bitcoin is king. And until something else shows me that, I will not change my mind on that one. So Link, it's found some support around this area, around where it's sitting right now. I don't really like it the way it's looking right here. It looks like it's done a really, really almost a full retrace from the bottom. Let's just have a really quick look at that from the bottom to the top. It's actually about to hit the 618. It could bounce off the 618, but keep your eyes on that because you never know. It's been it's in a bearish movement here. If we're going to look on the daily to the 4 hour, it's bearish on both accounts. So I would not be going into this until it breaks above the Kijinsen, which it keeps trying to get up to and keeps failing and bouncing back down. So this is not a good one to get into at this point at all. Okay. Now I want to show you guys just a couple before I go because it's getting late and I don't want to keep you here forever. Algo just listed and said that, hey guys, by the way, we're going to be, letting you refund your crypto and so on and so forth. Keep a long story short, Algo is going to make it so that people that bought into their coin will now be able to refund. So we had this nice pin bar here, and then we just shot to the moon like really, really quickly up to 60% or 70%. And then now it's testing the top of the cloud. So remember, as I've told you before, a really important thing is when we test the top of the cloud, sometimes it goes more. And the news that they shared is basically going to remove tokens out of supply. If you remove tokens out of supply and the price is still, the amount of money in the market cap stays the same, what will happen to the market cap? That's why it's been shooting to the moon. We got in a nice short, like 5% at the end of this, and then we didn't take a risk. But this could be one to keep your eyes on right now. Be careful though as well, all right? Now, another one that I've looked at that kind of looks a little bit interesting is REC. It's sitting on this support, which is basically the Kijinsen. It's broken underneath it. It's trying to break above it. If it breaks above it, we might have a Kijin break. It still looks bleak as hell. It doesn't have a clear direction. And what we call this is a sideways market. If you understand what that is, it means that we're not really going anywhere. We're just staying in this zone, this really, really boring zone. So REC doesn't look that bad, but it doesn't look as, there's a lot of that look worse. This one I saw with Lisk, and this is why I'm pointing it out. We have the Chiku Spin hooked up. We have this pin bar, and we have a bullish engulfing a bullish candle right there. This is quite interesting. It's not a bullish engulfing, but it's a very bullish stick, and we have some volume behind it. Again, nothing to get into. All right, and then we have EverX, which has also got a pin bar off the bottom of the cloud, and it seems to be growing. But another one that's nothing that you would get into. Phantom from last week that we were looking at, that we were looking at last week. So it did its top of the cloud, went up, came back down, touched the Tenkan-sen, came back up, broke all the way down, and now we have like 3 white soldiers showing on there. So we break into this cloud again, we could keep going, but we have a bearish TK cross right there, so I'm not bullish on that one either. EOS, it looks just as bad as all the other ones, guys. I'm just being really honest. I went through a cycle of all the coins today, and they all look just like trash. The only thing you should be looking at right now, until this is over and done, is Bitcoin. It's the only one that's having a really, really good day. And here's my buy zones for it. So this is our gap right here. This is our gap right here. This is where our 50% retrace of the whole entire movement from the bottom to the top was. And right here is a zone that I've been playing for a bit. And look how beautifully it played over the weekend. We went up, hit it, down, hit it, up, hit it. We're not going down though. We broke through that into the cloud, and now we're looking to go to the top. We do have this resistance right here at 10,800, which is why people are talking about it. So that's also something that you should be noticing. But other than Ethereum and Bitcoin, there's really nothing in the market to look at. And even Ethereum is pretty much in a very sideways market. It's not really going up or down yet. It doesn't have a clear direction. Here you can see a clear direction. We see that it's going down. But here we're not going anywhere. We're just going sideways. We're going like this. That's not really interesting to me. But if we do have another move up, it will be out of this box. And then I would say, okay, we probably have some clear direction. But right now, not so much. What are my favorite long-term alts? That's a really good question. Bitcoin is my favorite of all time. I do still like Litecoin. I think it's going to do well. I hold EOS for the long term. I believe that China loves it too. That's not the reason why I hold it, but the fact that China loves it is a really good thing because there's a lot of money in China. There's quite a few alts that I'm interested in, like UND. If you guys don't know UND, check that out. It's one of my favorites because they're doing something real with blockchain, and their token is not what makes their project worth value. It's their actual value that makes their token worth something. So I really like that mentality that they have. Great leadership, Silicon Valley team, and people that have been in crypto for quite some time, so they actually understand it. I think there's very few alts right now that I'm holding, to be completely honest. Most exchange coins, BitMax exchange coin, BNB, Huobi token. These are the things that I'm looking at right now because they're the best value right at this point. They're the ones that are doing well. So if we look at Huobi token, people that have been in my group, I told them when it was like $2, I said, hey guys, Huobi token, it's going to do really well this year. And, it did this. Now, obviously, Huobi token BTC had a hit after Bitcoin moved, but if we look at it in US dollar value, this is what it's done since I've told people at $2. So I said at $2, this is probably going to be a part of the IECO craze. It was March 16th when I told everyone it was $2, and since then it's up, 134%. That was a great one. There's OKB. That's another one that you could look at. It's also, whoa, that's not traded over there. Hold on. OKB on Bitfinex is not traded yet, or it hasn't been traded very much yet. So this is not a good place to look at it. I don't think OKX is on here, so we'll have to wait for that to change. You have to go to OKX's exchange to look at that. BNB obviously is always going to be around, but it's starting to take a hit. I'm wondering lately if it's going to ever get back to this $40 range. I think it will. The DEX is important, but US clients are also very important as well. These are all the things that I'm looking at. BitMax Exchange, you can't look up, I don't believe, on here, but we can open it up and look at it here. BitMax Exchange. It's a really cool one, and it gives you dividends every single day. So every day I go online and I check my account, and I get paid in USDT daily, and I buy more Bitcoin. So that's pretty cool. We do see that right here in US dollars. It's been up quite nicely since the Binance announcement of being offline. If we look at this on the daily, you'll see it very clearly that Binance announced it, and it shot up from about 8 cents all the way to 11. And again, it gives you payouts every single day. BitMax is also going to have Ferrum on there, so I do like that. It had Deep Cloud AI on there. I do like that. And they're really kind of starting to lead the Tier 2 and might even be a new Tier 1 exchange soon enough. I hate their mining, or their margin trading, though. It's really confusing and weird to use. So that's something I don't like. But other than that, I really do like their exchange and how they've set it up. So that's what I would be looking at. My take on FTX Exchange. Sam and James are good friends of mine. So FTX Exchange, I definitely do like. I will leave a description in here. Their exchange is really, really cool. They have their shitcoin, their shitcoin derivatives, so you can buy shit, basically. And obviously, days like today would be a good time to buy shit. They have their mid-cap index fund, which is really cool. So you can buy mid-cap coins. Algo you can buy as well, which would have done very well today. They have their own token, which has done extremely well. You could have bought it I could have bought it, unfortunately, for 70 cents. And would have been a extremely good buy, but I missed out. So that's life. I didn't know it was going to do so well. But now I'm kind of looking for Ferrum to do really well because I got in on the ICO yesterday, which was really fun. So that's basically it, guys. Hope you have a great weekend. It's Friday. It's Coach K. If you like this video, smash the subscribe and like button. Share it to other people. Comment on the video if you haven't yet, because we are going to start doing cash giveaways, or not cash, but crypto giveaways every single week. And we are also going to give away the crypto course that I have created. And we're also soon going to have my crypto trading course, which will be available to anyone who didn't know how to do TA or anything like that. All right, quick last one. Okay, you got in right at the end, Jose. All right, so go BTC. I think this is also, it's just, guys, when you see a coin on the daily, right? This is what you do. This is a multiple time frame analysis. When you see a coin that's done this, stay away from it. Especially when you go to a 4-hour time frame and it looks exactly the same as your secondary time frame. That's not a good thing. That's very, very bearish. There's nothing that shows me anything. Now it's sideways, so maybe it could have a move. But what do you see here? You see nothing of value. So don't go in on it. All right. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you all on Monday. Don't forget to comment on the video. We will start giving away UND, Veracity, BNB every single show. So tell your friends, your family, so they can win. We'll be giving away like $30, $40 of BNB. You know, one BNB, whatever it's worth now. I guess it's only worth 29, but one BNB a show, you know, every single week. So get on here, win some crypto, join our channels, because we also do trading competitions on Binance, and we do have some pretty cool stuff where we've given away a ton of cryptocurrencies to some of our members that won in competitions. And so we're going to have more of those. So don't sleep on it. Get involved, and I'll see you guys soon. Have yourselves a great weekend. Coach K signing out.